match 2, so we shall see how this goes. And we'll end on this one. And it's the pink team versus the dark team, by the looks of things. Black, grey, and dark blue. Yeah. Let's see. So who do we have here? We have the Avatorian, Captain Hisbal, Warchild, Empty Soul, Isaac Scam, and Frota. I presume it's Frota. It might be Frata. Yeah, probably Frata. But let's have a look at the production tab. And we have Double Galcian and Knef versus Double Galcian and Soban. So no one really going in for the power plays. No coalition in this match. Don't expect any nukes to wipe out your army. What do I expect off the bat? I expect a Sacco Scam I've never seen before, so I'm not really sure what to expect from him. He may be a relatively new player. Frater again is a new name to me, but we do have Empty here, who is a very strong player. It's entirely possible, considering the colour composition we're seeing here, that Empty has been training people, and these are in fact Empty's proteges. So if I see a gunship from Frater, I'm going to expect it's Empty Soul's influence, and if I see Frater go carrier power and or rush HGCs, I'll also say that is the case. Meanwhile, we have Warchild, Captain Hisbal Soram, and Avatorian. So, alright, so Hisbal was Soram, so yeah, I know. So we can expect some carrier plays from Sauron, possibly some overextends, and possibly losing his carrier early. We'll see how that goes. Avatorian, good, solid, all-round player. He's been part of the Desert's character community for ages. And again, lastly, we have Warchild. Got some experience with him, but again, I have not seen him play for a long time, so we'll have to see what we get from that. In the meantime, seeing a fair number of skimmers. I say a fair number, not many actually. So what we've got 4, 5 skimmers coming out from Warchild. Meanwhile, Empty's got a couple of skimmers on the field. No sign of any blast drones as of yet. Scanner up here covering... Scanner from each faction to cover this northern pass. Basically, this pass up here is only really accessible to Strikecraft. So it has been known that people will just send a full Strikecraft blob straight around here and just come straight in and backstab an economy. It looks like we've got Empty going for a base capture. A lot more skimmers coming out now. No... Oh, wait. Yes, this is a new player. This is a very new player. Possibly a bot. I could believe it. These LAVs could be out in the middle of the map and could be doing work, but instead they are here. Starting to move out now, though, so something. But no sign of expansion either, which does not look good for Team 2. So, as it stands, I really put this game... if Team 2 is really in any position to win this game, I'm really going to be expecting Empty to pull something out. Meanwhile, I'm expecting some pretty... Oh... cheeky blast drone here hidden amongst these skimmers. Now, the important thing to consider about that move, if that blast drone goes in, and even if it doesn't kill armoured sand skimmers, it will allow these sand skimmers to quickly clean up the rest. Very short order. But terrain definitely favouring Team 2 here. They've got this ridge here that they can use and keep high ground advantage. Not doing a very good job of taking advantage at the moment. That heal off the base runner being very useful there. The armor keeping the sand skims alive, and the heal off of the base runner getting them up to health relatively quickly so they don't have to stay out of the fight for too long. And we have rail tech from Avatorian, which is going to shut down that base runner. So some things to keep in mind about this map. As far as the drop zones, it is very easy to camp Team 1's extraction because it is on a nice piece of high ground. Ooh, and we have a backstab coming in here. Oh, see, I underestimated what looks like the new player, and he has come in here and backstabbed Avatorian, doing a lot of economy damage. Ooh, you do not want to get under that base that carries guns. It will eat your units alive. Bit of a misplay there. I would not want to be under that. Are these even armoured? Do you have any armour? Armour 1, which is from Veterancy. So no, these are Armour 0 LEVs, and they are going to die very quickly. And that looked like a blast drone, which just came in there and helped clean them up. And we have another Strikecraft blob coming in from Empty Soul. And look, there's a overextended Khan carrier. I mean, I suppose it's relatively safe at the moment, but it's still right on the front line. Probably the best place for it before rails really come out in numbers. No speed upgrades on either set of skimmers, but numbers definitely favouring Empty here. Needs to be a bit more careful with his micro. Looks like he's going to lose this. Yeah, going to lose that sand skimmer. And he does not get a kill. That is a shame. What have we got going on back here? What are we seeing tech-wise? We have rail tech on Empty. We have no tech on Frater. And we have no tech on Isokam. Is it Isokam? Let's see if I can get this right quickly. I'm going to just call him Misako. Meanwhile, Empty's stayed in this fight. He has got that... No, he was trying to get that base runner in. Doesn't work out. I'm guessing he would have got some reasonable trades in there, but again, it doesn't look good for him, having lost that many sand skimmers. And then failing to get the artifact in. In the meanwhile, we have Avatorian pushing the flank with some assault railguns and some skimmers. There is not much to challenge him at the moment. And economies are being expanded. Meanwhile, Empty retreating through mid. Is he going to clean up this scanner as he goes? No, it looks like he doesn't see it. What are we seeing tech-wise from Team 1? We have rail tech. We have... Ooh, we have assault ship tech, and that's probably going to be air if it's not already on the way. Oh no, he is just rushing siege cruisers. And finally, from Avatorian, obviously he has rail tech. So 2 rail and 1 assault. Again, it looks like just consistent use of the blast drones to support the sand skimmer groups. Which again can be very dangerous if they are not spotted and that blast drone is allowed to... Oh no. Ooh, right. And that's pretty devastating, yeah. So, got to be careful of that. A lot of skimmers going down there for Empty Soul. That's probably about 300 CUs for at least 700 or 800 CUs of damage. And these assault railguns look like they are going to be in a position to kite and kill off these skimmers as they come at them. In the meantime, Empty trying to get out here and secure his full economy, and we've got Honor Guard cruisers on the map as well as Knef Siege. So we will have to see the impact that Honor Guard cruiser has, but these LAVs getting chewed up horribly. No survivors. Very poor micro there. No real need for him to push in. He should have been able to see all of what he was up against and just pull away. In the meantime, it looks like we have Honor Guard cruisers from both sides. And we have a missile ship. So, again, concerns that there might be air coming out onto the field. Ooh, nice hit on those sand skimmers. I think that was 2 go down, and the rest get away with low HP. But this Honor Guard cruiser is getting swarmed, and this that's pretty mean. So yeah, basically what we're seeing here is what I was concerned about. While Empty Soul is a strong player, his 2 allies here clearly lack the experience, and are both playing very passively with Frata's just sat back here on a lot of units. Which is basically leaving Empty to fight a lot of 3v1s. Again, we've got railguns back here, we've got skimmer blobs, we've got assault ships, and all of it is doing very little to help Empty right now, who is all the way out here extended, trying to take this expansion, and I suspect he is going to be pushed off in short order. Meanwhile, we do have Frata moving along the flank, but again, I don't see the reason he's taking such a wide course. Do these... They don't even have armor 1, so one blast drone could wipe out that entire blob as well. Empty Soul's carrier taking a lot of damage. He does not have any power on this carrier right now, so he is at very serious risk of being killed off by Sorum at the moment. Yep. Alright, so what was actually going on there is Frata was going up there to intercept that base run up. Unfortunately, he did not stop it, so that is a second cap for Team 1. And my money is on Empty being dead right now. I do not see any way for this carrier to survive. That is dead carrier. We now have interceptors coming out from Frata, but too little, too late. They would have been... Oh, no, they wouldn't even know to help them. And that entire skimmer blob ends up being wiped out due to having 0 armor and being touched by a single blast drone. Not particularly favourable fight to be in the first place, but still. Really wish these interceptors would target the railguns. They'd be able to get some good kills there. In the meantime, how many? There's 3 missile ships in the middle at the moment. One thing I will say, at least Empty is still able to contribute some units to this fight. He is not completely dead. But it is really on Isako and Frata to make some good plays here. They really need to break down this cruiser blob, and soon. At the very least, Empty did manage to keep his Honor Guard cruiser safe, so he does still have that in the mix. And it looks like he's going for a backstab. Unfortunately, he is going to find Warchild's carrier and an Honor Guard cruiser, which will shut this down in short order, as well as Sand Skimmers, so this has been spotted. It is not going to achieve much, unfortunately, so it's better if Empty just pulls back. I don't think it's worth trying to take this fight. I suspect he isn't quite aware of what he's up against. This kind of eggs me off a bit. Like I say, Empty has already had a massive fight in mid, lost his carrier. There are cruisers on the field, and this is one of the largest forces on the map, and it is sat on a hill doing nothing and getting bombed. This is just not how you play Deserts of Carrick. Really, where these units should have been going is round this flank here. If they can push up onto this hill, they'd be able to push down on and punish this. But again, it's just clearly inexperienced players playing very, very defensive and giving away map control and also abandoning an ally, which is the big point here. And the one I would mainly put that on right now is Frata. He has mid-spawn. He has the safest expansions. It is really on Frata to assist his allies. And in the case of this position back here, Azako, really need to be taking this flank, really need to be fighting for hill control here, and pressuring this position here. This should not be a comfortable or safe position for your opponent. You should be able to get railguns up here and pressure this. But as it stands, Team 1 in a position where they can really just build up into whatever they want. Empty is not going to be able to bring out any bigger tools, no cruisers, no nuke, no late game carrier. And with these guys playing this passively, yeah, this game is really already over. What have we got? Frata. what is the point in sending out these small groups? Why are you not supported? There is just no coordination on Team 2. So I'm gonna say that's gonna be game inevitably, which is kind of a shame. So again, something I will reiterate until the end of time. If you are in a 3v3 game, you have to consider your role based on your placement. And it is important to consider there is probably the most well-known term, the pocket player in the middle, and then the flanks. It is incredibly important that the flanks actually do play for map control, and then it is also extremely important that pocket uses its defensive position, its safer position, to assist its allies, to make plays. So whether that is by using artillery to support your allies, air to support your allies, or just bringing extra units to shore up those flanks and win a flank. Sitting here like this, you are just waiting to die. Again, we've got air coming out, we've got a gunship. Feels a bit late, but it would... Oh dear. Oh dear God. Avatorian likes his base runners. But yeah, there's enough AA to lock down any air attempts at this point. And there are very few gaps for him to work with. Again, Empty getting some pretty good damage out off of these heavy railguns. Looks like he's going to pick off a siege cruiser, which is a good kill. Again, Empty just making the most of what little resources he has, so again, good on him. Fortunately, he is in range of that carrier. Maybe he can snipe that carrier? No. Damage coming off that Knef carrier missile. Yeah, that's level 5. That is death incarnate. Right now, this Khan carrier, with scouting, so if Avatorian were to supply some scanners along here, Sauron would just be able to bomb all of this out very, very quickly. We have a siege cruiser, 2 siege cruisers out from Frater, but he is not going to be safe to use those for very long. There's also an assault cruiser back here, but I do feel like that's kind of irrelevant against what we're seeing here. A lot of honor guards, siege cruisers, carriers. More importantly, there's a whole battery of heavy railguns up here, which is going to prevent that assault cruiser from really getting into range. Yeah. Anti-assault again on the wrong end of honor guard cruisers. Let's just get a better view of what's going on. So as you can see, so we've got Avatorian who's set up on the dune here, shooting down onto Team 2 spawn. We've got siege cruisers just hailing in damage. We've got the Knef carrier throwing missiles over. And this... I suppose it took something out. But I mean, it's up against siege cruisers. Well, we got 2 sonic missile barrages. So at least it's going to be cool. Oh well. Do you like missiles? Do you like missiles? Ooh, Khan carrier taking some pretty big hits. Looks like we've got a pair of assault cruisers hanging out, but again, missiles just hailing in on Empty's position. Empty really trying to hang in there with those heavy railguns. Again, by virtue of heavy railguns' insane damage output, they're able to continue to be incredibly threatening. And again, picking off units on that ridge. Those assault cruisers not getting very far, simply being surrounded and crushed. And again, I suppose really it's testament to an easy way to see new players. The carriers haven't moved. Um, Meanwhile, again, Empty just trying to hold on in the distance there, and we have more missiles coming in. Ooh, and we've got a powered Soban carrier. Well, it tried. It tried. And so I sit upon the dune of Karak and watch the carnage. Again, once like Empty is hanging in over there. What's that? 6 heavy railguns, and they are seriously holding down the fort over there. But again, alright. Looks like they're just about hanging in there. If that Honor Guard cruiser gets shots off, then it's over. But really, the only thing keeping... Oh no. Is that enough artillery for you? Yeah, looks like Empty can only do so much, can only dodge so much damage. And those heavy rails taking some serious hits, at least 2 of them going down there. Looks like there's only 2 left, to be honest. Get another volley of missiles. So again, if you ever wanted to watch missile barrages, this is definitely the game. Down goes the Soban carrier. Sarko finally going down. Empty makes his last stand, but I don't think he's going to last long. And Frater is not going to be far behind. Ooh boy. Well, we get a nice cinematic outro. I think it was worth watching. And so it ends. Again, I do feel like it was a pretty one-sided match. Empty definitely had the worst spawn for his team, and he was thoroughly punished. Still a nice cinematic, over-the-top, missile-fueled ending, so I mean, you can't complain too much. Well played to Team 1, which, as I